I wanted to do a video to note a few things going on with this deck and the other deck. So I'm going to run through them as quickly as possible. First off, the stairs on this deck are slanted or tilted towards the home. And the general overall structure is a little bit tilted and off, at least for the steps here. These railings are quite loose. The spindles here are loose and the spacing is too wide. That spacing should be 4 inches, at very most 4 3/8 inches. And then you also have spindles here that are completely loose. So those can be a danger for small children. The potential to fall off of the deck by climbing through those is an issue. There's some general overall wear on the deck. You can see some wear and some what look like some chew marks and things. Underneath here, you can see that we've got a couple of different support systems going on. We've got a metal post as well as a 4x4, and then a 4x4 back there that is not actually attached to anything. It's just kind of sitting on the concrete, and it looks like probably the same here, but that one might be buried. You have a metal support piece here that is shifted. It should be fastened. There should be appropriate fasteners through there, shear rated fasteners, and you can see where it used to sit on that rim joist there. It has moved quite a bit, so that needs to be moved back and properly fastened. And this support post for the stairs, typically you would use some kind of structural fasteners that are not used there, though that may not be a huge issue. These covers to the metal posts as you go along, they're off. I don't know, it's tough to tell if the posts themselves are off, but the covers for sure are. However, these covers move around quite a bit, so that may be the only major issue going on there, but there is quite a bit of angle to these different covers, and it may indicate that there's movement of those posts in some locations. You can also see other posts here. This one has a fastener, but it's really not an appropriate fastener. It's a just partially installed nail instead of fully installed nail. So on the back side here, on this rim joist where the joists hit it, you should have a joist hanger or a ledger strip. A ledger strip would be something that goes along the bottom to hold the joists in place. So typically those are used on deck installations, and they are supposed to be used, and they were not used here. So things seem to be staying in place as far as that's concerned, but those are supposed to be there. On this side, you have a bit of a de facto ledger strip in the block there, so that seems to be okay. You also have some shifting here of the rim joist, and really this rim joist should be attached to the posts and to the structural systems with structural screws, and I don't see that here on the outside on the rim joist, so I'd recommend those. On the far side here, we have some wood damage on the ends. Most likely that's a rot from weather exposure. And then on this far porch or deck, there was 4x4s used for the posts, and realistically those should probably be 6x4s or 6x6s. I would consult with a decking contractor to see if they are okay with the way that this was built. And then typically you would also have some type of cross braces for something that is that long to assure that it doesn't move around too much. And then this post, which is supposed to be a structural member for the stairs here, because every 10 horizontal feet, you should have a structural support on steer stringers. It is actually loose down here. It's not connected to anything. So it has no, it's not connected to the footing, and the footing doesn't look like it was very deep. And then the stairs themselves, you can see some areas where they're actually sloped back. So when you're walking up, it kind of throws your ability to walk up them consistently. And you can also see that they're sloped away from the house there. Also, behind the siding here, I tried to see if there's any flashing, because there should be some additional flashing to move the water away from the house and assure that the water does not get trapped back there and cause moisture issues. And I didn't see any flashing. Now, there may be something that isn't visible because of the siding, but I wanted to make you aware of that as well, because there may not be flashing behind the steer stringer there.